Some people say I've got too much on my mind.
Crisp and clean with no caffeine.
Correction. There's only one thing in my head.
With a fresh Reebok.
It's called Shaqnosis.
I love this shoe because when I was a kid, 94, 95, 96 or so, Shaq was everything to me. You had Michael Jordan, and then you had Penny Hardaway, who I loved, but there was Shaq. I loved Shaq. It's something about 7 foot tall. He could run and jump. He rapped. He acted. At least tried to. I love Kazam. I don't care what y'all say. I was gonna grow up and be like 7 foot and dunk a basketball. And well, that didn't work out. Shaq was always my favorite guy. I grew up in Louisiana, still in Louisiana. My dad, huge LSU fan. Shaq went to LSU. So at a very early age, I was taught that he is the man. And that was kind of my introduction into basketball with Shaq. Come out of LSU, he went to the Magic, so Magic was my team. I was a huge Orlando Magic fan. Even when they got Penny Hardaway, I loved it. I love the movie Blue Chips. I love Kazam. I love all the albums that he made and produced, whatever. I loved it. My entire room as a kid was Orlando Magic. Wallpaper, ceiling fans, lamps, the bed sheets, everything was Orlando Magic. The Shaqnosis was the #1 shoe that I wanted out of everything. I begged and begged my dad to get these, never was able to get them. But I don't know why it took me so long to buy it. Probably because it's a little bulky. It's a 90s shoe. It's not as bulky as you think. Pictures and everything make it look huge. It is a little big. It's a 90s shoe, especially a 90s basketball shoe. They're all big. They're all oversized. But this one, just the way the markings are on it makes it look bigger than it actually is. And I have skinny legs, so it just doesn't look right on me. I really wouldn't put these with jeans either. I might would rock these with some joggers or some baggier, like black pants maybe, black jeans. Nah, it's gotta be like a jogger or something kind of puffy. Maybe wear it. I might work out in them to do it, but that's about it. Now I know some of you sitting there saying, oh, Reebok's a cheap shoe, that's a Walmart shoe. Back then you don't understand, youngin'. Reebok was right there with Nike, right there with Adidas. They was big time. And they actually bet everything they had on Shaq. They put everything on him before he even played a game. 4 or 5 different Shaq Attack models, I think. And then they came up with this one in '95. They actually defeated the Bulls in the playoffs, went to the finals, and got swept by the Houston Rockets that year. Hate the Rockets. I remember sitting in the living room with my dad and I cried because Shaq got swept in the final. And my dad was like, Shaq's leaving, Shaq's gone. I was like, no, he's not. And I was devastated when he went to the Lakers. I remember that so well. I was devastated. Had to change the whole room. The designer at Reebok for this shoe was developing a new type of cushion, type of technology inside the shoe. And he wanted to mimic what it was like stepping on the shoe, how the cushion worked and everything. So like when you step on it, he thought of waves coming out. Boom, boom. He didn't put much thought in the color, black and white. Boom, it's beautiful and that's all you needed. That's all Shaq needed. As soon as Shaq saw it, he goes, oh, that's easy. It's like being hypnotized. Shaqnosis. One of the greatest shoes of all time. Maybe not just overall general shoes, but in sports shoes. One of the greatest. And I even have a book here, Golden Kicks, the shoes that change sport. And look at what is on the cover. Next to the Jordan 1, the Reebok Shaqnosis. Come on, man. Come on. A lot of people like the Penny Hardaway logo, the 1 cent. It is nice, but my favorite, besides the Jumpman logo, actually I might like this one more than the Jumpman logo, but I admit the Jumpman logo is the greatest, but the Dunkman logo. Slamming and the legs in the air. I did that on every like 6 foot goal as a kid. Yeah, of course I slam on a 10 foot now. You crazy? 7.5. Is that what it is? Oh, I wish I was Shaq. The materials on this shoe, the white parts are leather. It's a thinner leather. It's not that soft. It's pretty stiff as any basketball shoe from the 90s, or you have to break them in. Like I said, they're a little bulky, a little stiff, but once you break them in, They're not that bad. They're actually way more comfortable than I thought they would be. They're not bad. They're not very breathable. My foot got hot. I wore them around the house. I haven't worn them out yet. I wore them around the house before I recorded this, just to kind of test them out because I never had these in hand before. The black parts are Reebok on there. Reebok logo front and center on the tongue. Got your heel tab back there, and you actually got a little liner around the ankle for extra comfort. It is comfortable, but like I said, it does get a little hot in there, but it's not that bad. One thing I do not like about the shoe is the big shoestrings. They're a little gaudy. They're a little thick. I am more of a tie behind the tongue type of guy, just to give it that good clean look, because to me that's just hard to beat. But this one, you can tie them behind the tongue like I have now, but it's because it is cushioning back there and the tongue is really thick and big. It's just, it kind of gets in the way and you feel it when you walk, and that's something that I don't like. So I might have to tie these just outside, but they still look great. That's really the only thing I dislike about this shoe. The box is dope too. I don't care about boxes, but just the old Shaq logo, Dunkman logo. Like even the bottom looks cool. You know, you got your little Reeboks in there in the forefront there, little exposed air units there, Dunkman in the middle. That's a solid bottom. I don't regret buying this sneaker at all. It's not something that I'm gonna wear every day or maybe even wear a lot. I bought it just because it was a dream shoe of my childhood to put in the collection, put it next to some Shaq figures, some Shaq posters, whatever I got or wherever I'll be getting. It's dope. That one and the Shaq Attack 1 I need to get, but this was my favorite of his line. These will always make me feel like a little kid inside no matter how old I get. One of my favorite shoes ever. It's just nostalgia for me. I love it. It's the 90s. It's just basketball. It's pop culture. It's hip hop. It's everything. I love it.
I said, those Reeboks is fresh.